on Monday night. Huge game for Jason Tatum. He had 31, had 25 in the first half. Tatum and Brown combining for 57 for the green team. Jimmy Butler, he had 24, poured it on late. The Heat were down 9 with 3 minutes left, 100-91, going a 12-2 run to take the lead. Jimmy Butler fouled with about 3 seconds left on a corner three by Al Horford. He hits all 3 free throws, and the Celtics got their last shot off, and it's Derek White with the putback with no time left. Boston wins at 104-103. We will have a Game 7 on Monday night in Boston at TD Garden. Now let's go ahead and bring in our NBA insider. There he is, Reiter than you, CBS Sports NBA insider Bill Reiter. And Bill, what a phenomenal game here. The Celtics had a 9-point lead, like I said, with about 3 minutes left. Jimmy Butler goes berserk, goes crazy at the end. We got playoff Jimmy. But you look at it, Butler and Bam Adebayo combined for 9 for 37, so they struggle, but it's the Celtics getting the win down at the end. What did you make of that ending sequence for the Celtics and the Heat with Jimmy Butler getting the foul and then Derek White with the putback with no time left?
What a basketball game, Larry. That's the height of elation or heartbreak, depending which way you were leaning. Eric Spoelstra talks all the time, the head coach of the Miami Heat, that they do it the hard way. And they almost did it in miraculous fashion the hard way again. But sometimes the problem with doing it that way, and you noted that both Bam and Jimmy Butler were really inefficient in this game. They were down by multiple points in the fourth quarter. Part of the problem with doing it the hard way and having to come back is you leave yourself these opportunities, these moments in the margins to have your heart broken.
What did you make of Jimmy Butler, though? I mean, the Miami Heat just clinging to their lives there. We see the Derek White shot, but Jimmy Butler bringing back the Miami Heat, showing some resilience there. What did you make of Jimmy Butler's finish, that kick at the very end to finish with 24? Didn't shoot the ball very well, but Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy Buckets, showed up at the end for the Heat to give them a chance and have the lead with 3 seconds left, Bill.
Yeah, Larry, I think Jimmy Butler would be the first to tell you that he'd be disappointed in his performance. We'll see what he says in the postgame. But, I mean, Jimmy Butler is a guy that measures success based on wins and losses. He was not very good over the course of a lot of the game, and you're right. He took on the mantle the final moments. He brought his team back. He hit a huge 3 down the stretch. And with the game on the line, when Spoelstra looked at him and said, "Do you want it?" instead of a timeout, Butler said, "I want it." He drew that 3-point foul, and he made those 3 free throws. So you saw the good and the bad of Butler. He had an off game, but he willed himself in that fourth quarter almost, and Larry, almost is the key word, almost bring his team almost single-handedly back at the end of that game.
And at the end of that game, you saw Jimmy Butler hit all 3 free throws, so credit to him with about 3 seconds left, put the Heat up by 1. And in the timeout, he kept just saying, one stop, one stop. The Miami Heat were not able to get that shot there, the stop there. I thought Tatum was going to get the ball or Jaylen Brown was going to get that final shot, but it is Marcus Smart getting the final shot. Had a good game, had over 20 points, and then Derek White with the putback there. What does it say about the Miami Heat? They couldn't get the box out there, and how fortunate for the Celtics to get this win and move on to Game 7.
Yeah, and let me add credit to Joe Mazzulla. Marcus Smart was the hot hand over the course of this game. I know Jason Tatum had 30-plus points again, but he didn't score a lot of buckets over the course of the second half. Jaylen Brown was in foul trouble for a lot of the game, couldn't get in a rhythm. Mazzulla went with the hot hand of Marcus Smart, and Smart almost made that shot. And I don't know about you, Larry. When he missed, I thought, okay, game over. Finals in Miami. What a game. And then, as you noted, White had that incredible offensive rebound and put it back with just fractions of a second to spare. In terms of my reaction to the Heat, it's just heartbreak. It's one of those, the ball bounces the wrong way. I've covered championships that turn that way. It's bad luck for Miami. It's extraordinary luck and even better effort for the Boston Celtics. And it means you got to put all that beside you if you're Miami. Try to gear up and get ready for what's going to be an absolutely incredible Game 7, I would imagine, in Boston.
All right, Bill, we're shipping up to Boston. You see it there. The Celtics, the 4th team to force a Game 7 after trailing the series 3-0, but they're going to be the first team to have that Game 7 on their home floor. What odds are you giving the Celtics? What chance are you giving the Celtics to win this game and do the unthinkable, become the first team to win a series after being down 3-0 on this game on Monday night on the TD Garden Parquet there for you, Bill?
Yeah, well, predictions have been for fools over the course of this postseason. I've certainly been one several times. So I'll start by saying, who the hell knows, Larry? Because I don't want to sell on the Heat too much. And we saw, you noted what Jimmy Butler can do when the pressure gets going. But this is a Celtics team that they're far superior. They just are. They're a better basketball team than the Heat. They have more talent. They're going to be at home. They have so much momentum. There's so much confidence and swagger they'll bring into that game. Give me Boston, but nothing will surprise me.
Bill, on the other side of the coin here, you look at the Miami Heat, had a chance to win in here, up 3-0, let one slip away in Game 4, got throttled in Game 5, let another slip away in Game 6. Where's their head right now heading into this Game 7? How much concern should there be on South Beach with the Heat shipping up to Boston for a Game 7, Bill?
I don't think they're very happy. I don't think there's raucous celebrations in the streets of South Beach. Look, it's heartbreaking, and it's got to be one of those things that shake your confidence. I will say this, and I've covered the Miami Heat, and you don't have to cover them to know this. If any organization is capable of shaking this off, going to Boston, looking away from the collapse that is impending, and beat a better team. And again, the Celtics are a better team. It's the Miami Heat culture. It's an Eric Spoelstra coach team. It's a Jimmy Butler-led squad. It's a bunch of undrafted guys who make big shots. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like I just told you, I don't think that it will. But if anybody can do it, it's this Miami Heat squad.
But, Bill, all this looming over them, a Game 7 up 3-0, how much pressure will be on Miami? It seems like it's been on Boston the last 2 games, and then I would say Game 6, both teams are feeling the pressure. I think Game 7, is the pressure really squarely on Miami, although it's a home game for Boston? I think it's all on Miami on Game 7. You agree?
What? No, I mean, look, yeah. Do I think there's pressure on Miami? Of course I do. I think there's been pressure on Boston in every game that's been an elimination game in this series. And I think there's been more pressure on Miami than you would normally have for a team that was up 3-0 and then 3-1 and even 3-2 here, because they knew, like I think a lot of us knew, that if you let the Celtics get on a tear, they could win a bunch of games. But this is a Game 7. Eric Spoelstra's won a bunch of NBA championships. This incarnation of the Heat, to a large degree, has been in the finals a couple years ago. So there's pressure, of course. There's the fear of blowing a 3-0 series lead. We know that, but they're going to be prepared for that. I don't think the issue for the Heat, Larry, is the pressure. I think the issue for the Heat is they're not nearly as talented a basketball team as the Boston Celtics.
Celtics get it done in Miami at the Kaseya Center. He is CBS Sports NBA insider Bill Reiter. Bill, enjoy the rest of the weekend and gear up for Monday, buddy. Game 7. In Boston at TD Garden. Celtics in elimination games, 5-0 this season. You go over the last 2 years. Now, 8-0 against Eastern Conference teams in elimination games. You look at it, the 2 games against the Bucks last year in the conference semis. The conference finals last year, Game 7 at Miami, they won. This year, conference semifinals, Game 6 and 7 against the Sixers, and then these 3 straight against the Heat, 2 in South Beach. Celtics now 8-0 in elimination games against the Eastern Conference. Can they go 9-0? We'll find out on Monday in Boston in Game 7.